This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, okay, could start. I need to start. Okay, then. Okay, just we recap the things what we discussed in the last classes. Okay, we discussed about how to create up the business group, and then what are the mandatory flexi fields for the business group. So how to create the flexi fields also we have seen it, and then the next we discussed about the work structure of the business group. Okay, so how the work structure it is. Okay, so we just overall we create the job position and the grade. These are the only flexi fields. How to create the flexi fields we have seen it. Okay, and then thereafter we have seen creation of the organizations, okay, or the departments. So and then we have seen the organization hierarchies as well. Okay, that we'll see in the system now. ERP3 HRMS. Let's see the system. Yes. See, we have in the work structure, we have created the organizations here, right? So in the description, we have created the organizations like IT department or finance department, like IT department, okay, finance department. We have created it, and then we have been created organization hierarchy as well. Yeah, visions of the area. Something I think we have created the organization hierarchy. So this is SHRMS. So this ERPTREE HRMS. So this is our responsibility. This is our own business group we have created, and then we are attached to them the things. Okay. See, this is IT. This is what we have created. Like this HR. This is one of the HR organization. We only created this. I think. See here, HRMS on 13th June we have created this. Okay, so likewise we have created the organization hierarchies as well. Okay, so if you want to see the existing hierarchies which we have created, or else whatever the existing ones, if you want to see from the system, okay, we have created a months back or years back. Okay, so F11, so F11 means it will go to the query mode. Okay, so it will go to the query mode and then press Control F11. Okay, so then it will give that what are all the existing things. See, this is ERP organization hierarchy. CEO department is a main department, and then HR department. Okay, so under the HR departments there is other departments: finance department, IT department, and the legal departments. Okay, so under the finance department there is a purchasing department and the sales organizations. Okay, so under the purchase also you can create it. Okay, so likewise you can create more number of organization and more number of organization structure as well. Okay, so here very simple. Actually in the real scenarios, every employee has a supervisor in the organization till the CEO, right, till the board of directors. Okay, even board of directors also should be reporting to the CEO. Okay, from security guard to the CEO, the organization, everyone has a supervisors, everyone has a managers. Okay, so like in the same manner, every department has a reporting department. Okay, end of the month or every day, this purchasing department they can purchase the items from the suppliers. So they has to be informed to the finance department because the finance department is the payer. Okay, even the sales organization. Okay, the sales organization has to be reported to the finance department. Hence, they will receive the funds from the customers. Okay, so next this is ID department and the legal department. The next is a HR department. Okay, HR department is and this will also to be reported to the CEO. Actually, so finance department, IT department and the legal department, all these three departments will be reporting to the HR department. Okay, so this finally HR department will reporting to the CEO. So there will be an admin department. Both actually admin and the HR will be the same department, but there will be a different persons will sit in the in these departments. Okay. So it may become you can create here one more admin department also. Okay, you can attach the admin department. The admin department will be reporting to the. You can attach the any more number of organizations here. You can create your admin department there. See here, system is displaying only these five departments. We have we have seen the in the organization screen we displayed the more number of departments here because see these are all the departments. It only under the ERP3 HRMS business group. We have created a one business group, right? So under those only it is there. Okay. So in the organization we can screen. So here itself we created the business group, right? The organization classification itself a business group. So this is our business group. What is our business group name? I think so ERP HRMS. So this is our business group, right? We are attached to the business group classification, legal entity, HR organization, and then Saudi Employment Office and GOSI office also. Okay, so why we attach this Saudi GOSI? Because we are looking currently at the Saudi legislation. So we are attached to this Saudi GOSI. Okay, system will you prompt the GOSI because there should be a one GOSI office. Okay, so like and the next. So till here we have seen it. Now we are going to be seeing the work structure. What we have seen, we have seen about creation of the business group. We have seen about the creation of the organizations under the business groups, like departments or the divisions, whatever it is, in the same manner. And then hierarchy of the business group. Now we are going to be discuss about jobs, positions, and grades. In the work structure, there will be a job, position, and grade. So these three things we are going to be discussing. So job, so this is a job, position, and the grade. Okay, what actually is a job? First, we will discuss about the jobs. Okay, what is a job actually? Job is job is nothing but a generic role. Okay, example. Let's consider every department has a manager. So far, we have created a 5-6 departments like IT, finance, HR, sales. So obviously, every department has a manager, right? So the for example, a IT manager is a manager, finance manager is a manager, sales manager is the manager. So job is called of a manager. Manager is a job. Okay. So under the positions, so this is called of the generic role. So like a manager or officer. Officer is nothing but a IT officer. Okay, so if you take the government fields, there can be a different kind of officers. Okay, so like CBI officer or income tax officer, police officer, it can be. The officer is an officer, but it can be a different kind of officers. Okay, and the next is position. Position is nothing but a unique role. Okay, so what is it? A job is a generic role, a position is a unique role. So in the interviews, they may ask you a question: what's the difference between job and the position? Okay, what actually is the difference? A job is a generic role, a position is a unique role. This is a main difference. But in the above case, job, we have seen the manager, right? Okay, here, what is the manager here? See, for example, we have a different departments. Okay, we have a different departments. We have a, oh, see, we'll create one organizations here. So we have created a multiple organizations like IT or purchasing or sales, different kind of organizations we are created. Okay, so in this, see the position. In the position means there is an IT manager and there is a sales manager and there will be a finance manager. Okay, likewise. Okay, so a manager could be a different three type of positions. Okay, so he belongs to IT, he belongs to the sales department, he belongs to the finance department. Okay, so likewise, so same thing like an officer. A officer, a purchasing officer is there, and then a IT officer could be there, a sales officer could be there. So likewise, if it is in the marketing department, a marketing officer is there. So likewise, for example, so in the construction industry, there will be a carpenter. Carpenter is a job. Okay. Okay. There, the carpenter could be a wood carpenter, a steel carpenter. In the wood again there will be a senior carpenter. The steel carpenter called of again the senior carpenters. Okay. In the carpenters we have a welders as well again. So this is called of the positions. Okay, so there will be a there will be an officer, a job. Okay, so there will be a the officer when comes to the position side, a purchasing officer, a sales officer, finance officer. Okay, there will be a carpenter officer again. Okay, there will be a security guards officer. For all the three securities, there will be a security guards for the we have a three offices, different locations. Okay, so for all these three security guards there should be a one officer, so that is called of a security guard officer, we can call it. So likewise, so this is called of a position indicates a unique role always, but a job indicates a generic role. Okay, so like this. Next, we'll go to the grade. Everyone, all the things we'll see in the system. Okay, just I'm explaining about the practical manner. We'll see in the system as well. This how we can implement the jobs in the positions. Okay, next grade. Okay, what actually the grade it is. Okay, see, in every business group there is no need to use the grades. This is using of the grades is an optional. You may or you may not use. That's never mind about the business. It's not mandatory. But here, out of the job or positions, so you can use the both job and the position. Okay, either you can use only the job, either you can use only the position. Okay, so either you can use both job and the position. That depends upon the business scenarios. I'll tell you the 2 or 3 scenarios in the real time scenarios when we go into the application. Okay, how they will use both, how they will use only one. Okay, right. Well, now the grade. So what actually the grades? See, in the all the organizations, grades can be divided by the level of experiences, by the level of seniorities, by the level of uh, previous experiences. Okay, previous experience. So like 0 to 2 years, they will give a one grade. Okay, and then 2 to 5 years, and then 5 to 10 years they will give one grade. Of above the 10 years they will give one grade. Grades can be divided based on the experience levels. Okay, based on the positions which you are occupying the current organizations. Okay, and then even then based on the grades also we can define the salary structures. Okay, so most of the organizations, see, if the organization follows the salary structures, they can define the grades. Based on the grades, they will define the salary structures. Okay, so like for example, there is a grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Okay, so the grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3, and let's suppose grade 4, grade 5. Okay, organization it may consider ascending order or descending order. Few of the organizations will give first 0 to 2 years of employees, 0 to 2 years. They will give grade 5, and the next year here 2 to 5 years it's grade 4, and 5 to 8 years grade 3, and 8 to 10 years, and then so the grade 1 is above 10 years. Okay, so above 10 years called of this. So in few of the organizations, they start the grading from here, grade 1. This 0 to 2 years experience, they will give here for the grade 1, and then 2 to 5 this, and then 5 to 8 is grade 3, and 8 to 10, and the above 10 years is the grade 5. Okay, so organizations may dividing of the grades that is based on their requirements. These requirements will given by the end user itself. They want, we need a grades, the grades categories of the experience is this, so we have to be configuring the system the same manner. Okay, this experience is, it's not in the current organizations. It's this experience is complete experience of the employee previous organization experience also. That is a total consideration of employee experience. Okay, it's not in the current organizations. Maybe a senior level manager can be joined. He's having a 15 years of experience. He will comes under the grade 1. Obvious. Okay, so this is of total employment experience. And then here this grades we can use in the other ways also. Okay, how we can use is, for example, the grade for example a grade 5. Okay, grade, what is a grade 5? Grade 5 is a 0 to 2 years of experience employees. So my organization is decided that 0 to 2 years the system will enter the salary of monthly 15,000 only. Okay, 0 to 2 years. It's only the 15,000. Okay, or else system should give the my range. System can allow with the range 25 15,000 to 25,000. This is monthly salary. Okay, system will allow this monthly salary also. System will allow 15,000 to 25,000 for 0 to 2 years of experience for of a grade 5 employees. Okay, who is having a grade 5, system will allow this only. If you are trying to enter by mistakenly, my user is entering the salary more than 25,000, system will throw you an error on immediate basis. System will throw an error. Your salary range between 15 to 25 only. Okay, here also we can define this with this one. If here it is 25,000 1 to 50,000. Okay, then here like 50 to 80,000. Like here 80 to 1 lakh. Here it's more than 1 lakh. For 10 years of experience of employees, they will give us 1 lakh of this. Okay, so likewise, and then so this is what, and then so why should we grade this? Uh, See, for example, an employee is joining, he is having of experience of 5 years of experience of employee. Okay, so now he is having of just he close to the 5 years of experience. Okay, 5 years he has completed over there, and then he is coming here. He is having a 6 years. We'll assign this grade. Which grade we will assign, either grade 3 or grade 4. So he is having more than no, 5 years is crossed. 5 years, this is the first month. So obviously we'll assign him the grade 3. Even though system will consider based on the year assignment of the grade, and then based on the experience, system will consider of more than 50,000 only, 50 to 80,000. Okay, if you're if you offer him per month 90,000, even the system is not allowing it, because how the system is designed based on the company policy only. The company policy is we should not offer him, if employee has more than 5 years of experience, we should not offer him more than 90,000 per month. That is not the business policy. The business policy, the company policy only we are implementing in the system. That's very simple. So obviously, if the when they are issuing in the offer letter, they will not do any mistakes, because the offer letter can be reviewed by first the prepared by the a level of HR, and then it will go for the senior HR, and then it will go for the HR head, and then it will go for the CEOs reviews, board of director reviews, and then they will issue an offer letter for a senior level of guy. For example, they are issuing offer letter for a 80,000 or 90,000 per month to an experienced guy of 8 years. Of course, everyone can review the offer letter. Everyone can review their interviews schedules, like interviews and then comments. Everyone can review it. Then only they will issue then only the HR head will issue an offer letter to employee. Okay. So likewise, okay, the things been like this. Okay, so now how can we do this? Actually, the company based for the 5 years of experience, the company policy is only the 50,000. Okay, so they will issue in the 50,000, but by default, my employee, my user, by mistake, they entered 40,000. System will throw a warning there. As a grade 3 employee, the salary range between 50 to 80,000. Okay, then immediately the user will realize, okay, in the offer letter is 50,000, we have to enter in the 50,000. System is more smarter than the person always. So we are designing the system will give you the inputs. Okay, system will give you the design that the number of validations to the users. Okay, so the same thing like grade 2 and grade 3 and grade 1. Okay, so we'll design the system of the more than any of 10 years of experience of employee will give you the grade 1 only. Okay, we'll give you the grade 1. For the grade 1 of employee, it gives obviously any that is unlimited from 1 lakh to maybe a 1 crore, like this. System will allow that. There is unlimited of that. Okay, so this is what are this grades. Even though, see here I took examples of only grade 5 grades only. But if you take a bigger organizations like Tata Groups or Infosys or IBM, there will be multiple grades, maybe 20 or 30 grades. Okay. Mm. Because they have a different level. After 10 years, 10 to 15 years, they will assign one grade. 15 to 20 years, 20 to 25 years, 25 to 30 years. Of course, the employee can maybe works for 40 years in the industry also, 40 years and 50 years also. So they will give the grade wise is like this. Okay. Based on the experience level, they'll define the salary structure as per the company policy. Okay. All right. Now we will define in the system these jobs, grades, and the positions. Okay. First, I will define the jobs. Why means I will tell you. Okay. In the work structure, this is a organization work structure. For the work structure, in the real time, you should do when you are doing of the one implementation of the project. Okay. You should follow the structure and the sequential manner. The work structure, most of the people what they will do first they will upload the first they will create the position and they will come back to the organization or the job. No, that's not good manner. Even system will not accept it. System will throws an error, throws warning if you're creating a positions or something. It's not that. The sequence is first you have to create the organizations, then you create the jobs, then you create the positions. The grades is optional one actually. It's not depending upon the organizations or something else. It's not depending. So grades you can create it before the creation of organizations or after creation of the jobs and the positions or anything else. Okay. So this is what of these things. Okay. The grades is you can create anytime any point of time. The grades will not depending upon it. Okay, but we created the organizations. Now I'm going to create the jobs. Okay, see this is my screen of job creation. Okay, I will click on new. Okay, I will change the this effective date. Why means, see actually my organization is started in 1990s and still that organization is going on. Okay, these the jobs, the few of the jobs is created in the 1990s or 2000 year 2001 year. Okay, those jobs we need to be created in the work labs also. Okay, this is called of the data migration. Okay, this is called of data migration. How can we migrate the data? Okay, so data at the time of the data migration is also you have to be very careful which data has to be migrated first. Okay, so now I'm changing our date to 1990s. Okay, so here I'm creating a job. Okay, see there is a two ways of creation of the job. Either you can create your own job here. For example, the job is called of manager. So a job which already exists on the system, do you want to continue it? Okay, make it continue. Maybe in this business. One second, I'll tell you. See, here itself we are creating the job. Okay, so actually my intention is this is the user can create it. Okay, but I don't want to give an access to the user to create the jobs. He has to choose the job. So I can create some LOVs and then here I have to give some list of values to the user. Okay, I have to give some list of values to the user. A user can select out of the elbow list of values here. Okay, so now I'll create a new job. So manager and officer, and the next I'll create some consultant. So okay, let it believe this. What I want to here, see the list of values should be comes here to this job. Okay, so ERPTREE HRMS job structure here. I want to see the list of values here. Okay, so that also we can do that. Okay, that I will tell you later. That has to we have to do it from the application object libraries. That libraries will see after this work structure. Okay. Next, we have created the job a manager and the officer, and the next is called of the I want to create an IT manager. This is a position. Okay. So now go to the position description. See here, as no displays in. See here, we are not able to create this. This cannot be opened because it has no display the segments. Okay, we are not attached any segments to this position. Okay, we'll go to the what is our business group. So we are created some work flexible structures, organization, job, position, grades, right? So what are those? I want to see in that. Second, just open our business group. This is our business group. ERPTREE HRMS. Okay, this is our business group info. Here we can see that what are the job structure, what is the position structure, what is the grade structure. We'll see it from here. Okay, see what is our position. So this is ERPTREE HRMS POS. Again, this is a job structure. So we'll see in the application object libraries what exactly it is. Flexible, key flexible segments. Okay, what is our flexible title for the positions? Position. Okay, and then we are created our own structure. This is our structure. Okay, see here we are not created any segments. Actually my position has to be created one of the, see if you want to be create any segments here, so it should be, this is grayed out. How we have to do it? If you want to do some modifications, you have to be unfreeze this. Okay, and then click on segments. Okay, done. So why I am using this is of numbering. See here number. Okay, the name is, you can give any name. Your site position name and window prompt is also there. So you have to select the from the your segments. I'll tell you this what is the segments and the attributes. Okay, so make it, so here there is a required or not required. You want to make it a required, you can make a required. Okay, first one is I'm making of required box this, and then here the next is I'm creating the position name and the position number also, because at the finance team there will be a managers, there will be two finance managers. Okay, so this is what of the position number. Okay, so here you can give the segment too. So there will be total 30 segments available here, so that you can use it based on your things. So you may create here up to 30 like this, 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. Actually, why I have given for 10, 20, and I can give for the next is a 30. Why it is giving a gaps? For example, in future, if we want to create any segment like this in between these two, my end user wants ask this after I enter the position name, I want to enter something before the position number. Means if you give here 1 and 2, you cannot give the other numbers between. There is no other numbers between 1 and 2. Okay, we cannot give like 1.5 or 1.8. We have to give the sequential manner. In future, if you want, you can create like this here. If you can give here the 15. Okay, so why in future the requirements may comes, that depends upon this. Okay, likewise, and then now freeze this. Without freezing also, system will throws an error. Mm, we go back to our HRMS responsibility and create a position. Create a new position. See, now there is no error. See, the first field I given the position name and then position number. Right? So the position name is called of here. This is also a IT manager, right? For example, this is a manager, IT manager 001. Here, type none, pool, shared, and single incumbent. Okay, what is the difference between all these four? Which one have to be choose it? Okay, which one have to be choose this? So, what is the difference between? For example, now I am selecting of none. Okay, what is the organization? This position belongs to which organization? It is from IT. See, we are so many number of departments, right? We have created the organizations, 5 to 6 organizations. Okay, so I'm creating this position under the IT. See, even you can create the finance department also, the same manager. Okay, here under the job, see job you have to choose it here, the manager. Okay, hiring status, that can be a proposed or active. Proposed means in future you will hire this position and then you will use it. See, if it is here the proposed, you cannot assign this position to any employees in the assignment screens. Okay, so this is what this is an active. Now it's an active. We are hired the position. So now it's it. Okay. Now, for example, I'll tell you this. I'm creating one more position. There is a finance position, finance manager. Position number 001. Okay. There is a type. Okay. For example, here it's the rest of the positions I'll tell you. So in the here I'll choose this finance department. The job is called of manager here, and then hiring status is active. See here we have created a two positions. While you're creating a position, see here organization and the job both are the mandatory fields, right? Without this you cannot create any position. That is the reason I told this is a sequential manner. First organization and then job and then position. Okay, so you have to be remember it. So when without organization and without at least one job in the organizations, you cannot create any positions. Okay. See, in the interviews, they will ask the questions. Okay. I told you before, job or the positions, either of they can use it. Okay. See, for my organization, they are following only positions. They are not following at all jobs. Okay. Let's say, suppose. Actually, what is this here? If you want to create any position here, the job is mandatory. Without job, you cannot create any positions. But my organization is not following any jobs. My organization following all for every employee. It's a unique position. Okay, it's a unique positions. In which type of organizations they will use this means there is, for example, there is a small scale industries like a small IT company. It contains of only 50 employees or 100 employees. Okay, everyone has an unique positions. There is no duplication of the positions. There is nothing at all. So there is no job roles also there. Then how we can do that? But here the job is a mandatory. Okay, like see for example, so actually these positions we'll use in the supply chain management modules also to send for the purchase order approvals or the requisition approvals. They'll use for this position hierarchy. So if you want to send for the approvals hierarchy, every employee has a unique positions. Irrespective, the jobs is don't mandate, but the position should be unique. You cannot give the same position to the other employees. This is what. So likewise, the thing is how it comes. Okay, how then? So in the interview they will ask, we don't want to use a position, we don't want to use the jobs, we use only the positions. How can you create a position without a job? The thing is, you can say them, I'll create only one dummy job. For every position, I will select the same job. Here, I'll select the here. I'm writing of my unique position name. I will select the organizations. Obviously, organizations will exist in the every business groups. Without organizations, there is nothing meaningless. Organizations should be there. Only the jobs. Here, I will select always only my dummy job. Here, I have a jobs right. Here, so far I've created the manager and officer. There, instead of manager and officer, I'll create one dummy job. Okay, one duplicate job. So for every position, I will assign the same job itself. Okay, for same job, I will use this. I cannot create multiple jobs, but if you have a jobs and the positions, you can use it. Okay. So likewise, now I'll explain about the types of the positions here. For example, see here. Now I will create a CEO, the job. I'll create one job here. Okay, CEO is a job. Now I'll create the position. CEO. The number it's not mandatory. I'm not giving it. See here. Here I have to select none or pooled or shared or single incumbent. Actually, just forget about the types. Okay. In the real companies or the real firms, only one CEO will be exist all the times. For every firm, it's only one CEO, right? You cannot assign the CEO position to any of the employees. Okay. For example, in the real firms, there will be only one CEO, but in the system, if my user will try to enter the CEO to other employees, the system should not allow it. Okay, system should not allow to the positions. Single incumbent. So if you give for the single incumbent, the CEO position to assign to only one employee. If my user try to assign the CEO position to other employee, system will not allow it. This position is called only one headcount, one FTP. So this is what. So organization is called CEO organization. We created a CEO department. The job is also a CEO job, active. Now I try to save it. See now, FTP and headcount. Headcount is always be one. FTE. Headcount is the number of employees in this type of this position. Type of a position itself, the position name itself showing as a single incumbent. Then the headcount, it's nothing, right? FTE means full-time equivalence. Full-time equivalence is also be a one. Okay. The next payroll grades and everything. This will discuss this proposed salary entry. Payrolls were not discussed at salary base also. Okay. So this working hours of this CEO position, additional requirements, budgetings. Okay. The rest of the things we'll discuss it based on the topics comes. Okay. But this hiring information, FT and headcount should always be one. Okay. So now you can save this. Okay. All right. Now this is single incumbent is nothing but you can assign the position to n number of employees. You cannot. You can assign to only one employee is called of the single incumbent. Okay. All right. Next, we'll see about the other types of these positions. For example, I will create a purchasing officer. Purchasing officer 001. So type is called pooled. Organization, we have a purchasing department, and then job is called for officer. Okay. Status is active. Actually, what is the meaning of this pooled? Okay. What is difference from other types? We have how many types we have seen it in the position? One first is none type, and then single incumbent, and now it is a pooled one. Okay, next is a shared one. Okay, so we are not just we have seen how to create the none type, but we are not discussed it. We'll discuss that. And then now this is a single incumbent. We are already discussed about the single incumbent. Now we are going to be pooled. Okay, pooled is nothing but, for example, I'll tell you a best example of this. Pooled is, we are trying to call to some customer care center. Okay, in the customer care center, if you call them so until connect to one of the agent, so they'll keep you call on hold. Even they don't know or you don't know that you will be your call will be assigned to some person. Maybe 10 or 20 employees will be there in the customer care center. Okay, the call will be assigned to one particular of employee. There is no basic rule and funda. It will be assigned to one particular of employee. So whoever the free, the call will be connected to that agent. Okay. So what does it means that the work may be assigned to anyone else. The same work will be shared to all the particular of employees. The work means what, there is a customer care center. They have a they may be attend every day 200 calls for all the 10 employees. Okay, so a single employees can attend the calls of an and averages 10 calls per day. Okay, so 10 calls per day means, so some employee can be the customer care employee can be attend the 4 or 5 calls per day, and the other employee can attend the 15 calls per day. The 4 or 5 calls there is a very tough calls from the customers. This 10 calls may be average calls. So likewise it is. The thing is, so this is what of the pooled jobs. Okay, so even they don't know that the works will comes to the which employee it is. That is called of the pooled jobs. Even for example, you take a RTC is one of the firm. Okay, the driver, when the morning duty comes to the driver, so if the manager, the depot manager told that you have to go on this route today, from Secunderabad to some Kukatpally, from Kukatpally to Mayapur, like this. The next day, and then he will told to from Secunderabad to the Uppal. This is two different ways, but today he covered one way, tomorrow he can cover. This is what of this they can pool within the work. Every employee can share the work. Okay, all the employees with they're sharing the complete work. Okay, this is called of the pooled. Some employee can see, for example, there is a 5 drivers, there is 100%, there is a six routes, only the 5 employees is there. So these 5 employees can be covered all the 6 routes. So that is called of the pool. Even and though they don't know that they will cover on this way and this way, based on the time manner they will cover the ways, they will cover the routes. Okay, so out of these 5 drivers, the one driver may come 3 routes, this the rest of the 4 drivers will cover the 3 routes only. That is based on the his capacity and the time manners it is. Okay, that is in those type of organizations they will use this pool. Okay, so here why I use this purchasing officer as a pool. Okay, for example, purchasing officer means actually my company is everyday purchasing, material purchasing, like construction company. For example, consider my company is one of the construction company. Okay, and then so my organization recruited 5 or 6 purchasing officers. Every day they regularly purchase the material from the supplier, and they're checking the material, getting of the quotes and everything. Okay. So why I given here the pool? I have a 3 or 4 purchasing officers. Okay, they're purchasing the construction material of today. Of for example, there is a cement, there is a sand. Okay, there is a mixtures, and tomorrow they will purchase the plumbing items or mechanical items or electrical items. Okay, there is a flooring items, bulbs, everything, etc. They can purchase like this. Okay, and the next officer to the same officer, we are giving the same position to the next purchasing officer also, same position we will give. Okay, uh, and then this he is also the do the same work. He's also the because the job is very huge. For example, two purchasing officers, they are working on same plumbing items. They're purchasing same plumbing things. The same purchase officers will be purchasing of same electrical items. This is called of the pool. Okay, and the next. Now see, we'll try to see this. Okay, so here the hiring information FT and the headcount is an optional. Headcount is how many number of the employees will share this job, maybe 5. This is an optional. This system will not mandatory, because if it is in a single incumbent, it should be one the headcount. Okay, so here in future you can change this. For example, now today only I have a 5 purchasing officer. My business will expand after 10 years. I have a 15 construction sites. So, but obviously I need a manpower also. Whoever purchasing to purchase my materials, not 5 is not enough. Tomorrow it becomes the purchasing officers number of count become more, become from 5 to 10. Obviously. So this is what likewise. Okay, so now in future, now it is 5. Okay, for example, in future it becomes 10. You can say, so this 10 purchasing officers can share this board. Okay, this is what of the pooled job. Okay, now I'll create a shared job. Okay, I created IT manager, finance manager on this. Okay, now created a sales manager. Otherwise, we'll create IT manager, application manager, application manager 001. The type is shared. Okay. The organization, IT department, job is called a manager, and then status is active. So see here the difference of this pooled and shared. Most of the people get confused from here. Okay, actually, of course, in the pooled, a huge amount of work it's shared by the different of employees. Okay, then what about shared? Shared is actually what is his position? Application manager. Okay, actually, I have an IT company. Okay, we are maintaining of different kind of applications for my. Okay, I'm. I have or else I have an IT company or non-IT company, whatever it is. Okay, let's take a construction company, the same example. Okay, in the construction company, I'm using an Oracle applications and I'm using a SAP for my business. I'm using a SharePoint. Okay, I'm using a SharePoint or Oracle applications for SAP for other things. Okay, I can use web services also. Different kind of applications I'm using. For all the different, for all the applications, manager is only the one called of an application manager. Okay, he's application manager. He will look into that Oracle. Okay, he will look into the SharePoint as well. He will look into the SAP. He will look into the web services like this. Okay, so how come only the one employee can share the work in different applications? He is sharing the work. It's totally of he will work 8 hours in one organization. Okay, 4 hours he will look into Oracle, and then 2 hours in SharePoint, and the rest of the 2 hours he will look in some SAP. So like this, he is sharing the works in different splitting of number of hours into the work. Okay, for example, the total months you can in a month, 30 days, 30 days work it can be divided like this. This is per day, this is per day I divided. It can be divided. For example, 2 days he fully concentrated on Oracle, and the next 2 days he will concentrate on the SharePoint. Okay, only the one resource can sharing the he's sharing the works from the different kind of works. Okay, so Oracle is also one of the application, SharePoint is also one of the application, SAP is also one of the application. Okay, so from different applications, he's working on the only one employee. Okay, one employee is working on the different kind of applications. Okay, got it? Right. And now, so this shade can be worked. Shade, see, for example, there is other application managers also be with the shade. Okay, not only this, only one application manager can be shared. Okay, maybe other application managers also there can be shared. See here, shared. It's asking FT and the head count because how many people are shared. For example, I'm giving further 3. Full-time equivalence is also a thing. It's shared. And then you can create the other application manager is also a shared job. Shared. And then it's an IT. Job manager. And then here 2 and 2. Okay. So the position is the same. Okay, application manager is application manager, but he can also be shared in the different applications. Same, he will share his work. Okay, that employee also works 4 hours in Oracle, 2 hours in SharePoint, and 2 hours in SAP, like this. So this is, I think you got to understand about the single incumbent, shared, and pooled. Okay, now I'll tell you for the none. What is a none? None is nothing but none, nothing. So you can create any type of position to, you can create n number of sorry, you can assign this position to n number of employees. You can assign multiple employees. For example, we have created the single incumbent. Okay, we created the single incumbent. What is the head count? We given only one. So you can assign this position to only one employee because CEO is only the one. If it is only the president is a one, you can give the for the president position. Here you can give the for the single incumbent. Okay. For the pool, we are given for the 3 people or 5 people. You can as much as you can assign. The shade is also the same. None, but not like this. None you can assign to n number of employees. Okay. This one. So I'll stop it here today. I'll continue in the tomorrow's. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Reddy, what is difference between shared and pooled? This is Amit. Thank you.
So I explained you. You didn't get my point. I
I
explained
got
the.
I
Okay.
got the like pool can be also shared between one or more employees, and
Hmm.
shared can be also the number of count we can define. So exactly what is the main
No,
difference
no, no.
if some,
Actually, first you leave. See, first don't think about this head count. Okay. First think about the reality. Head count is the head count. Okay. Think about the reality. See, for example, there is a construction site. Okay. So there is a previously I told the customer care example also. Okay, for example, there is a construction site. Okay, there is a labor work obviously. Okay, there is a 10 laborers are working on the same job. Okay, there is a 10 laborers, they are working as the same job. So that is called of the pooled one. Okay, they don't know that the what the work they have to be do in the construction site. Okay. So this labor supervisor can be assigned to any of this. This 10 people having of there's a pool that is called of the pooled job. The shared job is nothing but actually I'm the consultant. Okay. In Oracle applications we have a, in HRMS we have a technical and functional. For example, I know the both the skills. I'm a techno-functional consultant. So I can be work for 4 hours in technical, 4 hours in the functional per day. So this is called of the shared one. I'm sharing the job. So in those scenarios, we'll use the shared. In those scenarios, we'll use the pooled. So in the customer care centers, we'll use for the pooled. For example, for example, I'm an employee, I'm a freelancer. Just think about it. I'm a freelancer. I can work for one company, shared job. It's only for 4 hours, and then after the lunch, I will go for the other company. I will work there for 4 hours. Actually, in the first company, my position is a shared type of position. It's not like a pooled because the pooled they are the permanent, but the shared they can work like a part time or the freelance. This is the difference. This is the main difference.
Thanks, Reddy. Got it.
Got it. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. If you have no questions, that's great. Thank you. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.